What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Flave 24 Evo. Alright guys, so the random question of the day is, what is your favorite article of clothing? I think I'm going to have to go with hoodies on this one because, well, first, they're so darn comfortable, especially when they're brand new. You try not to wash them for as long as possible because it's so soft at first. Secondly, you can pretty much wear them 3 seasons out of the year here in New England. As long as it's not under 19 degrees Fahrenheit, then it is absolutely hoodie weather. Under that, you might want to wear a coat. And third, it's pretty much always going to be hoodie weather because rain, sleet, wind, snow, it doesn't matter. It's always hoodie weather to me. But let me know what you guys think right down there in the comment section below. Alright guys, so today we're going to be taking a look at this little guy right here. This is the Flave 24 Evo, the little brother of the Flave 24 by Alliancetech, with a big huge shout out and thank you going to Alliancetech for allowing me to take a look at one of these devices for the purpose of making this video. I'd also like to give a big shout out to my buddy Miguel. He's the North American distributor of Alliancetech products. He's the one that gave this thing to me at VMX in St. Louis, so big thanks to you, Miguel. Really do appreciate it. So taking a quick look at Alliancetech's website, this device comes in one color and one color only, which is stainless steel. However, you can also pick up accessory caps for this thing. I have the clear cap, which makes it look awesome in my opinion, and that was of course at an extra cost to you. Speaking of cost, this one is going to run you about $100 US or 89.90 euros, which kind of converts around to $100. So with that being said, if you guys want to pick one up, I'll have a link on my website. A link to that will be right down there in the description below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got the Flave 24 Evo in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, then we'll talk about what's inside. So, very plain, basic packaging with this device here, just the Alliancetech logo, the Flave 24 Evo right there on the front, and on the front lid there, it says the batch number and the serial number. Mine is number 923, batch 1, and as you can see, that's pretty much it around the rest of the box. So, let's just go ahead and take a look inside. We get the Flave 24 itself. We'll take a better look at this in just a second here. So let's just put that aside. And underneath, we get the spare parts. So yeah, pretty much your standard fare here. A full set of O-rings, a full set of screws, and a flat pin. So you can change it out if you don't want to squonk on this thing. But yeah, nothing too special and nothing to write home about there. All right, guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's 24 millimeters in diameter, hence Flave 24. It has a new smooth 2 or 4 hole airflow design, new low profile build deck, new screws, and it's 100% manufactured in France. All right, guys, as you can see, I've got all the pieces to the Flave 24 laid out in front of me here, so let's just go from top to bottom, starting with the tip up top. This is not your standard 810 tip. This is something completely different. It is not a normal size, so you're going to have to get a custom tip if you wanted to get anything special for this one, and with that, that is definitely annoying because none of my tips fit with it. So with that, it's got 2 O-rings towards the bottom here. It fits in there very snug, and it's not a bad tip overall other than being Ultem, which I am not a huge fan of, but there are other accessory tips available for this thing. As you can see, nice big wide bore, and just for comparison's sake, let's just bring in a standard 810 tip here. Very, very, very similar. However, the bases are 2 completely different sizes. So there you go. The next piece here is basically the top part of the top cap. I'm not exactly sure why they went with this adapter piece here instead of just a full-blown top cap being manufactured all from one piece of Ultem, but that means you can mix and match and that sort of thing if you want to. It is held on there with a single O-ring, and once again, this is very, very tight, so no complaints about this falling out whatsoever. But otherwise, this drip tip just basically fits into here, just like that, and it makes up for the top cap section of your atomizer. The next piece we have here is the barrel section, and to be honest, there's nothing super duper special about it. As you can see, it's got that nice Alliancetech logo engraved on it on this side here. We've got the air holes, which are dualed on the opposite side. You can see right through there, and basically that's about it. It's a very short cylinder piece, and there's no locking tabs on the inside of it or anything like that, and the rest of it, the cap section, is made up by this little drip tip configuration. So there is the completed top cap section all in one piece. Speaking of top caps, this is one of the accessory caps that you can get for your Flave 24 Evo. It's the clear cap, as you can see. Again, nothing super duper special about this. It's mostly for aesthetics. It's got the same airflow holes. One thing that it is missing, however, is the Alliancetech logo, which I'm kind of bummed about because I feel like that would have looked really cool on this cap. This is really what you guys came here to see, the build deck. Now, as you can see, I still have my coil and cotton installed because I wanted to show you guys exactly how I've been vaping on this thing for the past few weeks, and I gotta say, this thing vapes like an absolute dream. The building process on this is very simple and very easy, and the screws are nice and chunky, so no problems with slipping or stripping or anything like that. Now, let's just go ahead and quickly take out this coil, and I'll show you the rest of the build deck. So here's what the build deck looks like without a coil in it. The squonk pin is right in the middle, and you can see the big insulator for the positive post. Serial number is right here at the top, and you can also see the air inlets right on the inside of the deck there, and where the air comes in on the outside of the deck there. So really cool, really chunky, really simple, and very reduced chamber, which leads to better flavor. And you can see where the notches are cut out for your jig. Basically, whatever you're wrapping around goes right in this little slot here, and it helps with building on this thing, and I gotta say that is definitely a nice feature. You also have your dual O-rings at the bottom here and a little lip for your top cap for it to stop. And on the bottom you can see the Evo engraving and the batch number right here at the top. Mine is batch number 1, and there's the Evo at the bottom with the gold-plated squonk pen. And that's pretty much all I've got to show you in this little close-up section. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, my first pro is the flavor. Duh! This device is meant to be a flavor-centric atomizer, and it is exactly that. I vape a lot of fruit flavors, and I get really nice, crisp notes of flavor with this device here, and I gotta say, I've been reviewing a lot of these shorty-style atomizers recently that are meant to be good for flavor, and this one so far has been my favorite. My second pro for this one is the airflow. Now, typically with the reduced chamber atomizers, you get that sort of restricted lung draw. Well, with this one here, you get a nice wide open full lung draw to it with both air holes open. You can also cut that down in half if you'd like to and use 1 out of 2 of the holes, and that gives you a little bit more restriction if you want to. And my third pro today is that it can handle some of the bigger builds. Now, I would say this one works best with some of the more exotic wires like Aliens or frame staples. Right now I've got a 3mm frame staple in there and it's working awesome. If you're using round wire, it will work. However, you might have to space your coil out a little bit because the terminals are a bit more spaced out. And my fourth and final pro for this device is that it's perfect for squonking. Right now I've got it sitting on top of the BT Customs Squarius 21700 mod, and it's absolutely perfect up top there. I really don't feel like I should ever separate these two because it just makes such a perfect combination. If you're an avid squonker and a flavor chaser, then this might just be the device for you. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons. My first con is that it's a little pricey. Now, sitting at $100 US, it is definitely on the pricier side, and a lot of you have already written this off as too expensive for their vape budgets, but I will say if you are willing to spend the extra money on one atomizer instead of maybe 2 cheaper atomizers, then it's definitely a worthy pickup. But overall, I still feel like they could have brought this thing down to right around the $75 mark, and that would have made me a lot happier. And my second con for this one is that it could have been a smidge taller. Now, I realize that the whole point of this atomizer is to be a little bit shorter than its older brother, the Flave 24. But with that being said, I have built this exactly how it's meant to be built, with my jig sitting right down into the little notches cut in the build deck, and my coil still sits up really close to the top cap section, which leads to spit back. So as far as I'm concerned, a tiny bit taller, maybe 1 or 2 millimeters, would have made a little bit more of a difference, but overall I just feel like it's just a tiny bit too short. And my third and final con for this device is they should have at least given you an extra cap in the box, maybe even make some kits including different color caps or that sort of thing. Like, you know, have one kit have the stainless and black cap, you have one kit have a stainless and Delrin cap, or have another kit that's stainless and a clear cap, that kind of thing. Or just make a master kit like QP Designs do with their Cali. Just have one kit that has everything in one box. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for review? I'm going to say yes to this one, but only just barely. Honestly, the $100 price tag really puts me off to this one. They should have at least included an extra cap. To be honest, you could get 2 cheap Chinese atomizers for the cost of this thing, or like 5 Wasp Nanos, so I'm really not sure the superior craftsmanship involved with this device here can negate the cost. But if you got some extra money lying around and you want to pick one up for yourself, I'll have a link to buy it on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description description below. But that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments down in the box below, and make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.